Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I too want to rise with a few brief comments on Bill 114 in the third reading. And I do want to begin by recognizing and thanking the passionate broad community of public servants and community professionals that engage every day in supporting children in care. There are certainly too many to recognize, but I want to give a broad shout out to all those that work day in and day out on the front lines, helping our children and those in need. And I also want to thank everyone who contributed either directly or indirectly in crafting Bill 114, the Child and Youth Wellbeing Act. And Mr. Speaker, it has been an interesting couple of days, and I want to thank the experts that graciously agreed to share their knowledge and thoughts on Bill 114, Child and Youth Wellbeing Act. Those that appeared before the Economic Policy Committee on Wednesday, Mr. Kelly Lamrock, New Brunswick's Child and Youth Seniors Advocate. And then yesterday we had John Sharp, Executive Director of Partners for Youth, and Ms. Zoe Bourgeois, who's a student and project coordinator for the New Brunswick Youth in Care Network, and Mrs. Geraldine Bayani, President, New Brunswick Association of Social Workers, and as mentioned earlier, Samantha Paul, Executive Director of the Mi'kmaq Child and Family Youth Services of New Brunswick, and Michelle Sobico from Kingsclear. And, you know, Mr. Speaker, we also had a number of civil servants on the floor last night and the night before. On Wednesday, we had Pam Savory, Bronwyn Davis, Trevor Breen, and then on Thursday, we were joined by Amanda Harpel, and Eric Boulieu, the Deputy Minister of the Department. And both nights we had Mary McCormick, Mary Leslie, and Leanne Murray. Again, there are some people that held the pen on this that did a tremendous amount of work over the last couple of years that included some of the consultation. And it's a point of debate, I know, but the legislation that was put on the floor was good legislation. There was no errors or omission, and that became a bit of a point of debate. So again, in order to, and I stand by it, but in order to improve it, we listened. We listened to the opposition, we listened to the experts, and I did bring 8 amendments forward last night, and I appreciate the support that I received in getting those amendments passed. And I do want to thank my colleagues on this side of the House that were very passionate in putting their views forward in, again, trying to make this legislation better, and I appreciate their support and their input, and I think the reflection of the amendments in the bill captures that desire to improve it. And again, the opposition parties that gave up their opposition day in order to have the experts come in and discuss this, as was mentioned so well by Leader of the Opposition and the member of the Green Party. So, and we are committing, you know, in addition to these amendments, the department is committed, and I made it last night, I'll make the statement again today, to a consultation process for the development of the regulations. And we hope that is a robust and embracing, engaging process. And we plan to have those regulations introduced by the early winter 2023. So we will take the time, as we did with this legislation, to have the best regulations, and again, to ensure the protection and well-being of our children and youth, which is the ultimate outcome that everyone here in this House, I believe, is looking forward to. And we're also committed to making amendments at any time, should they be required. I know within the Act it said every 5 years there will be a review, an automatic review, and then 7 years after that. But if there's some changes that need to be done in the meantime, as the department works with their partners, with the opposition, with the MLAs over the coming months in developing those regulations. If there are further analysis and recommendations received from the stakeholders, we will certainly be open to bringing the Act back and making amendments to further strengthen this legislation. Without a doubt, you know, the work is just beginning. The work continues. It goes on and on every day. There are, again, frontline workers that 24/7 are in the front lines, keeping our children safe. And again, with this bill, I think we're strengthening their ability to protect children. protect them before a bad situation happens, protect them when there's a high degree of risk of something bad happening. And we know that there's budget debates coming up and talking about resources. I know for this particular budget line, there is a line of 155 million, and that's an increase of about 12 million, specifically to, again, make sure that the assets and the resources are there for the folks that need it when again, doing their job to protect the youth. So thank you, everyone, for your input. And certainly, it was a humbling experience last night, and I do appreciate the camaraderie or the cooperation that occurred on both sides of the House and with staff as well, who again helped us move this legislation forward. So encore une fois, Monsieur le Président, merci beaucoup tout le monde pour votre travail, bon travail, travail fort, travail fier. Et aussi le travail, ça commence aussi aujourd'hui et c'est continué dans le futur. Merci beaucoup.